Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Rabbit Hole Podcast. I am your host, CSD Fantasy. Hello, Fantasy Faithfuls, and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Rabbit Hole Podcast. My name is CSD Fantasy, and I am flanked by the one and only Nick Faber and the Coin Master, Matt Williams. How are y'all doing?
I'm great. Living life in the quarantine. It's getting pretty boring, actually. I'm getting pretty fucking bored. Like, we need to do something. Like, we need sports. And then there was a tweet coming out today about how LA might not be holding any kind of events until 2021. It's got me scared. I'm doing as best as I can. Drinking a lot.
I don't know. I'm watching HGTV now. I'm thinking about learning to build a table, some chairs, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm gonna come out of here with all sorts of stuff to sell flea markets.
You're gonna be one of those like extremely manly men who's like, I haven't bought a furniture since before the virus.
Very manly. Look at my collection of coffee tables.
Yeah, but if you've built them you can get away with pretty much anything if you built it yourself, I feel.
True.
Even if you're like, Matt, why do you have 17 doll houses? Well, actually, funny you should ask. I started building them and I'm really good at it. It's like, oh, you did this? Like,
I gotta say though, when I see shit like that, I mean, it's usually like the little, like even when people do like the little ships, like when they build crap like the little cities to like scale and they do like a really good job, that is really impressive sometimes. Like the really good ones, if you ever seen them, it's pretty cool.
Right, it's super cool. So like anything you can build and you're talented with, I think you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Like what could you not get away with? Maybe, well, Dollhouse might be close to that.
Yeah, you came right out with the king of probably not the manliest thing to make. Look at all these. I mean, rocking horses are fine probably because you give them away to your, you're like Santa Claus.
And it's a horse.
Yeah, and it's a horse.
Yeah, my grandpa always thought that me and my cousin we're like, oh, y'all are wusses. You're not manly enough. Like what? Running after a ball? Like, why aren't you on a horse? What?
It's like, what would make this game better? A horse.
Yeah,
baseball, horse. Add a horse. Football, horses.
Everything.
You can run a 40-yard dash in 4 seconds. Good for you. Can you lasso the balls over there, kid?
Yeah, that's how it was. Like he was like, oh, when I was 8, I had to show the military the way to get to the Norwegian border on my horse. Like, wait, what? Like,
that sounds awesome.
I'm sorry for playing soccer.
Soccer, though, I mean, probably the girliest sport of them all, right? I'm just joking, Carl.
I would like stop the stream. We're done.
It's obviously baseball. Baseball is the most 100%.
No, it is not.
No,
it is not. People die all the time getting hit in the head with a 100-mile-per-hour baseball.
Then.
Even though there's fighting, by far, hockey, the least dangerous sport.
Way disagree. I thought
because all the danger there is just unnecessary.
Why is it you can literally get your throat slit by
no one does. No one pulls a Billy or
they don't
Gilmore
pull
and takes off their skate.
No, but you fall and you get.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen. People get hit in the head with baseballs in the face constantly.
So do fans.
The fans are in danger.
With pucks in the face.
Can you imagine? You want to make it dangerous? Take down the glass. Let fans go to hockey games. Let's see how many people sit in the first level then.
That's true.
That would be scary as hell. I wouldn't do it.
Play without freaking helmets.
But I'm just saying it's there. A lot of people view hockey as the manly sport because there's lots of fighting, but it's like literally outside of the rules. There's no actual reason for it. Like if within the rules, it's the least dangerous. That's what I mean.
Reason why hockey is dangerous. Hockey is dangerous because you are flying on ice skates right into each other. Baseball, you can't even run into the catcher anymore. The only person who is in any danger are the fans and the pitcher.
the fans are in danger.
That's it.
What have you seen? Blue Mountain State, BMS.
No.
You got
and you want to this show so bad, but we never will.
You've missed something, Matt, because
I'll watch it. It's probably on Netflix or something, right?
It's so good.
Now's the time, right? Now's the time.
Well, by the way, you're about to see how many hockey followers you have because they're going to be pissed.
Oh, but we're supporting hockey here. So in BMS,
he's from Sweden. Are you kidding me? Like,
I support baseball no matter what. If it's rational, irrational, I'm going to defend baseball and I'll take whatever stance I have to. Baseball's great.
Pretty much the same with hockey.
The biggest thing about baseball is they need to stop making the pitchers bat. That's the worst thing ever. They need to get rid of that. It's over.
I'm very against that, but that's totally another show.
I'm a super soccer and football fan, but nothing can make me as emotional like when a hockey team has 3 crowns in yellow on the chest. That's a Swedish national hockey team. If they play, you're into it, and you're on your edge, and you're gonna cry if they win.
You know what the main thing? Because I say hockey's probably the most fun sport to watch live, like in person as a fan. I think. The one rule that I hate, and there's rules in every sport you can hate. I hate was icing, where you're not allowed to push the puck to the entire side of the rink. I hate that because that should be the fucking idea.
No,
get it away from my goal. Get it away as far away as possible.
It's to don't like. You're not supposed to promote just icing the puck all the time when you're defending. Because it's an easy way to defend, right? You just like shove the puck down the other side.
It just seems like the most obvious thing to do. You can't do.
We even have a chant for
cherry picking though in like basketball. Like I don't know, you don't want that. Like
yeah.
Oh, you mean like goaltending?
Or
yeah, I guess if goaltending were allowed in basketball, that'd be pretty bad.
Red line offside was the worst rule back in the day.
What was?
You remember that, Nick? Red line offside.
Yeah, I'm so glad they changed that, though. It's been to a point now. It cost the Red Wings multiple games and series, and it was very annoying.
It was awful, but the worst one is like the worst rule is not there anymore. The worst rule in sports is actually from soccer from back in the day, where you could pass home to your goalkeeper and he could pick up the ball with his hands. Meaning that if you scored a goal, you could technically just stand by your goal, chill out, and when a player came to take the ball from you, you passed your goalkeeper and he took up the ball with his hands and ran away with it. And you can't do anything because you can't tackle the goalkeeper. That was the worst rule.
You've now lost we've taken this one step too far, and we start talking about soccer rules, and everyone has stopped listening to us at this point.
But this is
back in. And
Nicholas Corona here in the chat, he's like, this is brutal, talking about sports that we can't even watch anymore. Yes, it's nothing to – but we do have some news. So before we get into that, I want to thank everybody who's here. Please hit the like button, share on social media, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Everything helps us get the word out there even more. We love doing this show, and we love doing it with y'all. So please interrupt in the chat. And if you're listening on demand – super excited to have you on board here as well. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and Google Podcasts, and many more spaces. But now, to the news. In the news, we don't have too much, but we do have a couple of things. And the first one is...
on that real quick? Wait, did I just miss the drop?
The drop is real fast. But you know who's not fast? Brandon Cooks.
He's pretty fast.
He's pretty fast. It didn't work out at all, that transition, but I'm going to roll with it. Brandon Cooks to the freaking Houston Texans. He's playing checkers when everybody else is playing chess, in my opinion. Why are we trading away DeAndre Hopkins and then getting DJ and Brandon Cooks? Anybody have any good reason?
If it's obviously the trade looks a million times better today than it did before, now that you have Cooks, because at least you have the wide receiver. If DeAndre Hopkins was not going to sign with them, and they keep saying they're not, and it's more believable now because we've seen people hold out, and they hold out regardless if it makes sense. So if they, again, you're trusting Bill O'Brien at his word, which is a cardinal sin. But if you were to believe that he wasn't going to stick around there and he may have been holding out, you trade for whatever you can get. So if you got DJ, and I mean, it was a bad trade no matter what, because if you were going to trade Hopkins, you could have gotten a lot more. But in the end, you trade Hopkins, you get DJ and Cooks. It's not awful. If DJ is even 75% of what he used to be, you could actually look at this by the fourth game and be like, holy crap, Bill O'Brien's a genius. That's not going to happen, but it actually does have the potential to work out for them. So it's okay. And then you see today that like Kenny Stills and Kiki could be on their way out. So now I'm more confused. I love the possibility of seeing Fuller and Cooks and Kiki and Stills all on the same team, just freaking go routes, and then just have Deshaun and DJ in the backfield. And if to keep everyone honest, it could have been, if healthy, it could have been exciting. But I don't know. Bill O'Brien is going to Bill O'Brien this up.
Yeah. And it is one of the more health concerning teams out there right now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you have to be scared because Deshaun Watson usually runs to save his life. And so
I do think their offensive line is going to be better this year because they gave up a shitload for Tunsil, another horrible trade. But he kind of dropped into that team in the mid-year, and he didn't have a lot of he didn't know the system very well. He didn't really know the other players. So I think a whole healthy offseason, they'll probably be a little better on the offensive line. I would expect that. But they may not matter because everyone else could be not healthy.
Here's a show by my daughter.
Hey, Juliana.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. Happy to have you on board.
Let's see. Oh, she's gone.
She gone.
I thought your shoes were haunted for a second.
I was just watching Sinister. You guys seen that movie? That was a pretty crazy movie, but fun. It's a good movie. Ethan Hawke. It's a good one. As for what the hell is going on in Houston? Now they're talking about getting rid of Kenny Stills. He's the odd man out, and Kiki is gone. I
get getting rid of Kiki because you got Bill O'Brien hates him, and they signed Randall Cobb, right? That made sense. But why are you getting rid of Stills now? What did he do?
It's just like, we'll bring you in, and then we'll kick you out real quick.
Because Cooks and Fuller are like the same freaking person. So why are we getting rid of Stills? I don't know.
Nothing makes a lot of sense.
No, it's going to be a very interesting team. And it kind of feels like Randall Cobb might not be the worst pick if in fantasy, if they get rid of both Kenny Stills and Kiki. Get rid of both of them. All of a sudden, you do have Cooks and you have Fuller taking those safeties and corners deep. You're going to have Randall Cobb running some very good routes, in my opinion, that's going to be able to help him out. And I'm not afraid of David Johnson. I'm more afraid of Duke Johnson than I am David Johnson. David Johnson's going to be hurt by week 4. It's going to be it's pointless. So I'm also Randall Cobb if they get rid of those receivers.
My issue with that is I saw him, watched a lot of him last year to being a Cowboys fan, and he dropped some really easy passes and did not look great at the end of the season. In the beginning, we're like, holy shit, okay, he's so good. It was a great thing to get rid of Cole Beasley and get Randall Cobb as the season went on.
As a Packers fan, he sucked for years.
Yeah, it was
good year though.
It was not that great of a situation, and I understand they didn't re-sign him, especially what he got paid.
Yeah. Oh, they paid. What, they give him like $9 million?
A lot.
It was so stupid.
It was, especially with this draft coming up. We're gonna spend on wide receivers.
How much do you hate Kiki to just sign Cobb to $9 million? Yeah, in a draft where you have so many. Draft Tyler Johnson in the 6th round. He's free. Unreal.
It makes
Brian. What an idiot.
Line, though, so they can't afford to spend anything on the wide receiver. They need to put all 6 picks right in the offensive line. That's all they.
The Texans. They should have put all the money that they've spent on David Johnson, paying his full contract, and Randall Cobb, and maybe signed an offensive lineman. That could have been an off the wall strategy.
It's going to be interesting to see if Deshaun Watson can hold up that offense.
Hey, you never know. Hey, this is the thing.
Know he can.
If they're healthy, they'll be 7-0. We'll be like, what the hell happened?
But Watson is so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. He can pretty much he's not Aaron Rodgers, get on my back, but almost to the point where he's like, I'm just gonna win this.
Hey,
even though I gotta save my life.
If they're healthy, I mean, he loves to bomb it. And with his ability to run around in the backfield too, they won't be able to sell out downfield too much either. So if they have everything going and they have someone competent running the show, they could be interesting, but none of that's going to happen.
They're going to be fun to watch at least.
Yeah. I hope they're healthy for a little bit because, I don't know if they're going to win, but they'll be fun to watch.
Another couple of teams that will be fun to watch, not because they're teams, but they got some uniform updates in Cleveland. I know we touched on the Falcons uniforms. Cleveland got new ones. They got rid of that nasty Cleveland on the leg or whatever it was. They're looking pretty sharp. Have you seen the new ones?
I have not. I'm actually looking them up as we speak because I've not.
And the Colts changed their logos just a little bit, so they now have a secondary logo.
I disagree with that logo. Putting Indiana in the middle of the sea. It just looks like a drown. I don't know. I don't want to say anything that it looks bad. It looks bad.
All right, hold on. I'm looking at the Browns uniforms, and either I'm looking at a picture of their old uniforms, or these look the same.
Yeah, I don't really see much of a difference.
Oh, they're much cleaner now. Less crap going on.
I don't know. Whatever. They're still the most boring uniform in football. What's the other team I'm looking for?
I mean, yeah,
Brown
Colts.
The Colts.
Before I figure out why they were named the Browns, this was a long time ago. I'm like, why would you just name a team after a color? I was super confused. I'm like, okay, sure, they have the shirt going for it.
Hold on. I mean, I thought the Browns uniforms, there was no difference. What is the difference with the Colts uniform?
So they've added like a thing in the neck on the inside of the shirt, and they're like, we're really cool now. Look at this C.
They could have done that, told no one. No one would have ever known.
You're talking about the logo? You're talking about the logo, right?
I'm talking about the uniform.
They changed how the numbers look. They did. They changed the uniform.
I didn't see that.
The numbers are going to be
online. Someone put Colts old uniforms versus new uniforms and put Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. That's funny.
Before or after drugs? No. Oh.
But the alternative logo with the Indiana in the middle of the sea, that's weird. I don't like it.
Hold on. I haven't seen that yet. Hold on. Now I'm looking for the logo.
Yeah, and then look at the numbers. They'll be like, this is a throwback to the 50s and 60s.
Doesn't that look kind of like a droopy.
It looks like someone just took a bite out of the sea. Like it's a broken cracker.
They had a mild heart attack as they were drawing it.
Just stick with the horseshoe. It was classic.
It's all right.
The horseshoe is awesome.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with that. Why change it?
Yeah.
Because it's fun to change things.
I guess.
And we have to stay relevant in the news.
Yeah, I guess. Well, good for them.
Cameo from the daughter, and at least here.
Yeah, because she really wants us to get into this fantasy big board.
That's why she's crying. She's like, yeah.
She's like, what are y'all doing? Y'all need to get into it before it's too late. Y'all are done 18 minutes on nothing. You're arguing about a C.
What do you mean? We covered hockey? And we've done everything.
But she's really excited. So today we're doing a fantasy big board. We're going to rank the top 100 fantasy players in the league. And it's not going to be like a major discussion on each player, but it's going to be one player picking one player if I'm correct. So Nick will start.
Have a debate heads and tails that we could turn into a 15-minute conversation easily.
I mean, we can do that, but I mean, to explain what's going on, you're going to make a pick, and then we're gonna dissect that pick and move forward, right?
I'm starting.
So what are these? Are essentially what our rankings, but like we keep butting in and editing the rankings.
Yeah. So if Nick says AJ Brown first, we're gonna attack him, but then I get to pick the second player, and you pick the third, and so on.
Oh, what if fucking attack me? Come on.
So he picks AJ Brown, and then you pick Christian McCaffrey, and then I pick Phillip Rivers, and then so on and so forth.
Back to me, and that's our big
and then
board.
hell breaks loose.
And we're gonna put an article out so everyone can see our big board. Carl's gonna put an article out.
And then all hell breaks loose as soon as somebody picks Phillip Rivers. It's downhill. It's just gonna be worse picks after that. We got before we do the first pick though, let's say hi to a couple of people in the chat. We got Nicholas Carone, and now we got Nate the Great, Dominate FF joining in. What's up, fellas?
Nate, what's up, buddy?
Happy to have you on board.
We're ranking medical equipment. You were just in time.
PPE.
Obviously, ventilators are 101. Sorry.
Hey, I'll trade a couple draft picks for them.
Sneaky sleeper is insulin. I feel like it's not getting enough attention.
It's insulin. That sneaky bastard.
Sneaky.
Nick, do you want to do the honors of getting the first overall pick? or pick or ranking.
Are we giving rules or a format or anything to the
No, you just
viewers?
pick a player and then we're ranking them 1 to 100
for no reason.
For no reason.
PPR redraft.
Okay,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I don't know. One of them. You pick. That's a daily double. So 101, Mr. $16 million man. Give me Christian McCaffrey.
I would have gone Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, no. Smart 101.
I would have gone with that new Colts logo as the 101 because I'm hungry and it looks like someone took a bite out of a cracker.
Oh, it's like a nice sea saltine.
Who's second? Who's second?
You are.
I'm second. All right. Nate was here for 2 seconds. Like, all right, I'm gonna leave because this is a horrible waste of time. Well, that's what we should. The fantasy rabbit hole / horrible waste of time.
Entertainment.
Whatever. Give me the boring pick of Saquon Barkley 2. Oh. No creativity.
Saquon 2. I mean, it's going to be super easy. Like early on, I feel it gets more difficult because like I'm gonna go Ezekiel Elliott. Like 1, 2, and 3 is gonna be CMC, Saquon, and Zeke.
I wouldn't have went Zeke third, to be honest.
I wouldn't have went Zeke third either.
Wait, what are y'all going?
Well, I mean, he's fourth, so we can just let him pick.
That's smart. That's smart. That's really
and
smart.
I'll take Michael Thomas for 4.
Please. That's who I would have taken.
That's a good one. It's not as good as Zeke, but it is good.
Right. Are we doing PPR? Even if we're doing PPR or half PPR, it's still better. But we should have what it is.
After Michael Thomas, I would take Dalvin Cook, who I also would take in front of Zeke.
And that is who Nate the Great also would have picked in the chat. Dalvin Cook, ? Dalvin Cook before Zeke. So
I don't dislike Zeke, but splitting hairs at the top.
Cook is 5. I wanted to go Cook. So now you kind of put me on the spot there a little bit.
There's no players left. No one but Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go DeAndre Washington. No.
I literally choked on my water. You couldn't have picked him a random player. DeAndre Washington. No offense, DeAndre Washington.
Yeah, no, not taken. For me, I'm gonna bet on some positive regression in touchdowns and go with Alvin Kamara.
Like it.
Yeah, I mean I can't complain about that. I'm gonna jump in and what pick am I? 7?
7, yes. So let's do a recap every like 9.
Every 9. Why make it 10? Make it 9.
Because then 9 we go.
It goes to 11. Davante Adams, league leader in receiving touchdowns this year.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. I think he's gonna have some positive regression in yards too.
I don't know if it's positive regression. I mean, he what was he 2 shy of 1,000 after missing 4 or 5 games? Like he would have been pretty safe. You know what I mean? Like I think his what do you call it? His it's a really easy word. His pace was going to put him there. Geez, this next one's tough. I'm looking at my group because DeAndre Hopkins, I am actually going to be very low on. Not, whatever, compared to where most people are. I think I'm not sold that the targets will necessarily be there with the way they actually went a little more run heavy in Arizona at the very end. And, they obviously have a ton of wide receivers. They're going to have like 4 wide there. So, and Aaron Jones, he obviously has touchdown regression coming. Derrick Henry, I'm not really sold on. Give me Joe Mixon.
Whoa. I think that's early.
No, it's not. Early. I love it. We're projecting forward, not backwards.
Amen.
I think DeAndre Hopkins is due for a little bit of a down year for him.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones has got some touchdown regression coming. Derrick Henry, I could see. We'll see what they do the rest of the time there. But I think Joe Mixon and a revamped Cincinnati offense, everyone's healthy. Their offensive line is healthy. I think Mixon has a huge year.
especially since he just came out and said that he is willing and getting ready to go on a holdout if he doesn't come into a contract with Cincinnati. And what that means to me is that Cincinnati is going to light him up with carries. And they're going to say, all right, here's 380 carries this year. We'll see you never. Telling you.
Well,
I love it.
I'm surprised Mixon went ahead of this guy, though, because I think he's going to be a stud. I've talked about him for several years, and I think he's a fantastic wide receiver. He has a potential MVP candidate coming back from injury. Kenny Galladay, like you're saying, predicting for the future, he's already a stud, and he's going to be even better.
Are you trolling us? Is that your pick?
Are you picking Kenny Galladay this early?
I don't have Kenny Galladay until like the mid-20s, I think.
Whoa.
No. Well, hold on. No, I mean, hold on. Here's some wide receivers like
receiving touchdowns last year. He's probably a top 12 wide receiver.
Hold on, no, not mid-20s wide receiver. I mean, of everybody. I mean, I'm like, I know. I mean, you got Nuke,
right,
you got Julio, you got Tyreek Hill.
You have Nuke.
I mean, both. I mean, probably Godwin.
I'm not mad.
Evans, maybe.
Detroit versus everybody.
Amari Cooper, DJ Moore.
No.
I love that Holiday over Cooper, bro. You're so cool, man.
Matthew Stafford played, what was it, 5.5 games or something? And he was still wide receiver 9, Kenny Galladay.
This, though, we talked about this on my Lions Brawl podcast last night. I think it hurts him if Matthew Stafford plays a full year. I think he spreads it out more than we saw Driscoll and Blau spread it out. We saw Marvin Jones go down not soon after Matthew Stafford. We saw TJ Hawkinson only play 12 games. We're going to see more Hawkinson. Marvin Jones was the second best wide receiver in touchdowns before he got injured, right behind Kenny Galladay. I think Kenny Galladay is great. I don't think he's going to lead the league in receiving touchdowns. I think he's a top 8, top 9 wide receiver. I love that you put him up this early, bro. You're the man.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it, and I like. He's 9 from last year. I think he's going to be better than Edelman. He's better than Allen Robinson, Keenan Allen. I think he's going to be better than Cooper Kupp. I think he's going to be better than Chris Godwin. Then you have Michael Thomas. Julio, it was a little coin flip on that one.
You went with a whole bunch of like you started with mediocre wide receivers.
Oh, I took
went
the
up
top
to
10.
Mid-tier. They are not. You didn't name Hopkins or Julio, or you didn't name
Julio
Amari
was
Cooper and.
All right,
flip. Deandre Hopkins changed teams, so he's behind him.
No, I'm not ripping it. I was just fascinating. You think he's going to be the wide receiver 3? I mean, that's a pretty hot take, right? That's probably one of the hotter takes you'll see someone make.
Pretty hot, and I love it.
I don't hate it. I can see it happening. It's interesting. It's probably one of the more interesting picks we'll have today. That's all.
Get out of here, Packers fan. Anyways, let's move on.
Hey, I love Kenny Galladay.
Kenny G.
To the next. It's a 100. For me, it's not even a battle. I don't put Nuke in here, by the way. For me, my top 3 guys right now left on this board to pick from would be where I saw Tyreek Hill. I like Julio a lot, but I'm way more on Tyreek Hill. And then Leonard Fournette and Josh Jacobs. Those are my top 3 guys right now remaining. Out of those 3, I would take Josh Jacobs. Young. We saw a ton of action. I think we're going to continue to see a ton of action. We're going to see an increase in pass attempts to him, along with them adding a CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy to the wide receiver position. We're going to see a lot more of the safeties, not as much stacked in the box. So give me Josh Jacobs and the John Gruden team who just runs the fucking ball this year. Josh Jacobs.
I probably would have gone Julio above Josh Jacobs and then Jacobs. If Matt doesn't pick Julio here, I'm going Julio.
I'm not picking Julio here.
Well, I forgot Tyreek Hill. My bad.
Tyreek Hill's good.
I am going to. I listed the reasons why I wouldn't take him last time, but I am taking Aaron Jones. He's going to have regression as far as touchdowns, but the opportunity to score them will still be there. He caught a lot of passes, and the fact of the matter is Jamal Williams is there. He's nowhere near as good as Aaron Jones, and Jamal himself gets banged up. I expect the Packers to be a lot better offensively, and they'll be scoring a ton. So I think Derrick Henry has a lot of he shot a lot of bullets recently, so it was between Jones and Henry for me there, and I went with Jones.
Yeah, and I think
know.
complaining at Kenny Galladay and going Aaron Jones after that screams Packers fan.
Well, I would think the majority of the planet's with me, but
I just wanted to attack you. I think it's a decent pick. I like that you went with him instead of like Leonard Fournette or somebody like that. Especially since Leonard Fournette is on my no-go list. When I was saying Julio, I forgot about Tyreek Hill. He's still there. I'm going Tyreek Hill at 12.
So you're
play
a liar.
16 games.
You're a liar
And a thief.
All right. Well, we know who you're picking because you already gave the people you wanted to take.
I like Leonard Fournette a lot. To be all honest, I'm looking at this chart, and one guy I just missed apparently because I'm not even looking was Nick Chubb. Kind of very surprised Nick Chubb remains out there. I'm not going to pick Nick Chubb though, because I wouldn't pick Nick Chubb over Leonard Fournette because I will take Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette at 12.
Like you do that in a draft?
I would do that in a draft. I think Leonard Fournette's going to be fine this year, especially with Gardner Minshew in a second year. We saw the pass opportunities. We are doing PPR or half-point PPR. If in standard, might be even higher. But even in PPR, I have no problem taking him in the first round. I would gladly take Leonard Fournette right now over Nick Chubb because I think Kareem Hunt's – it's the same thing that worried me last year and why I didn't draft Nick Chubb. And it burnt me for a little bit, but it didn't burn me in the back end. Kareem Hunt's going to be relevant. He's just going to be there. He's going to be relevant.
I don't argue with him going over Chubb. I was just asking if you'd actually do that in a real draft because would you actually take Galladay in the first round? I feel like he's one of those people where even if you liked him as the wide receiver 3, he's going to be going in like the 3rd round. Yeah, so you don't have to take him.
Yeah, right. No.
We're not picking a big board. Are we picking a big board to draft, or are we picking a big board of how they're going to finish at the end of the season? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess that's a good call. Yeah, so I guess it's irrelevant.
I'm not telling anyone to go draft, these guys at this spot, but I'm just saying this is where I think they're going to finish.
Yeah. We should. I like that. It's at least everyone understands that going forward. This is how we think we're going to finish. All right.
Yeah, exactly. End of the year. Is it PPR or half-point PPR? Because that does
PPR.
Full PPR. End of the year. Where's Austin fucking Eckler?
Oh yeah, I'm coming. Yeah,
right? You just went.
That was the 12th. That was our first top 12 right there. Yep.
Yeah. So you are on the 13.
Who do I want?
I really like this show. And I don't know how many people are watching or if we were going to get any views on this or listens. All I'm saying is I love this big board challenge right now.
Give me this tough. I don't want to do this.
All about having fun.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm dragging this out. This literally means like nothing. Not the.
It means everything.
Give me Chris Godwin.
See, because at the end of the year, we can go back and see when you're wrong.
I think Mike Evans is going to be hurting. I think Brady's not going to be able to air it out as much. I think that they're going to trade OJ Howard. And his replacement is going to be maybe a touchdown whore, but I don't know what their situation at running back is now. I don't think it's going to be necessarily fixed. I don't think they're going to invest in one of the big guys. So I think Godwin will, instead of the ball being circulated like it was last year, I think Godwin's the guy, and that kind of helps him be more consistent than he was last year. So I like that. The reason I didn't take Julio is nothing against him. I feel like Ridley's going to take another step forward. And they'll be a little more even. So he won't get that target share that he was traditionally used to. But it was real close between those two for me.
Yeah, and I was thinking of him too, I love Austin Eckler. Will he finish higher than Julio? I think he will. I'm gonna have to go Austin Eckler here.
I feel like the Chargers are gonna draft the running back.
And I feel like that doesn't matter.
No, I mean to come in and share the role with Eckler. If they only went with one of these just like second role dudes, then that's one thing. But I think they're going to bring in someone to literally run the backfield with him. Like
I think that's
not as someone that's better than Justin Jackson.
See, I don't think so. I think it's going to be very similar to the Chiefs getting Darwin Thompson last year. I don't think it'll be a rookie who's going to make that much of an impact this year. I'd rather be on the Justin Jackson train for a deep end picks, no matter who they draft. But I'm going to pass along.
Before you do, because I want to touch on that real quick. It's going to be super fast. I think a really good strategy for a lot of teams is don't draft a running back high until you're at your Super Bowl window. There's no use in getting like a high-end running back when you don't have a high-powered offense. If you can push you above like the Chiefs, there's no reason to. There wasn't a reason before you had Mahomes to draft a high-end running back. For the Cowboys, when they had Romo, it was like, oh, can Zeke push us with Romo? Probably. Let's draft him. If they would have had a rookie quarterback, there's no reason to draft like Daniel Jones and Saquon. I think that's Saquon was probably not the right pick before, but I mean, he's pretty darn good, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you don't know.
Although I would argue that like Josh Jacobs kind of makes Oakland a contender. I agree it doesn't work out. Like you said, you're right probably 9 times out of 10, but like in their sake, I think they made the right call. I know Gruden really liked him, but I feel like that made him a significantly better team. But by the time maybe they're ready to actually win, he'll be on his way somewhere else. But
exactly.
I'm not sure that I don't know if they would have gotten I think he was the guy to make them that much better. If that makes any sense. I think that was the bang for your buck pick worked for them, but usually it doesn't.
Yeah. And it's 8 out of 10, it doesn't work. Like you have Gurley, you can make
look
it
what
relevant.
The Patriots did. Yeah. They just waste their picks.
Now you get to pick Nick.
Going Julio.
Me and Julio down by the
Hold on, did you pick Eckler?
Yeah.
Oh, you did pick Eckler.
Of course. You knew I was going to pick Eckler. Yeah, I have my pet cats.
Dick Chubb and Nuke are still on the board. Are we pissing people off yet?
Probably.
I am going to go with DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, it had to be. It had to be.
I wanted to take him over Julio, but I honestly don't think he's going to finish with better points. But him and Kyler could be a fun.
He has hurdles to keep him from being a wide receiver in top 15. But he also has upside to make him the best number 1 overall. So there's still that. It's
more uncertainty while the upside is still always there. It's more uncertainty than somebody like Julio.
Yeah.
Do I want to go upside with uncertainty is the question. And how freaking crazy do I want to go? I don't want to go that crazy. I was thinking extreme.
What, you were going to say Cortland Sutton?
Silence. No, but they traded away Brandon Cooks. This is PPR. Cooper Kupp still on the board.
I
feel like that's a pretty darn safe pick right now.
The wide receiver 2 on the Rams. I like it.
What wide receiver 2?
Yeah, it's Robert Woods is their number 1.
Not when Kupp is healthy.
No.
I think he will be. It's my bet.
You think wrong, Matt.
Yeah, you're thinking wrong, Matt.
Well, you know what's going to be is they're going to end up being within like 5 fantasy points, just like they are every freaking year. They don't have a 1. They have a 1 and they have a 1A and they have a 1B.
The Rams are about to be 4-12 this year, and it's going to be an embarrassment to watch them this year. That's what's about to happen. But Kupp will still be great. Nick Chubb, there's no reason he should still be on that board.
There is a reason.
He's good. I mean, he's good. He's really good.
I'll take Derrick Henry. At this point, you know, they're going to run the ball. So there's that. They don't have any other options either. So there's that. So yeah, give me Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry at 20. Nick Chubb. I feel like that's a really nice spot for Derrick Henry.
I think he'll go ahead of that in all drafts.
Yeah, 100%. But I think that's where he's gonna finish.
Yes.
I think that's a perfect spot for him. I don't agree with all of these Davante Adams finishing above like Kenny Galladay. Yes. Joe Mixon over Josh Jacobs. No. Derrick Henry, perfect spot. Like I could not agree more.
Derrick Henry, the two, I don't buy into the thing where everyone's like, I don't think they're going to be quite the same. I know Tannehill didn't throw a ton compared to what you want to see out of somebody, but you saw how effective he could be. I think they have a whole offseason. I think they're going to try to reshuffle the deck a bit. They saw how good he could be. They do have pass catchers. So I think that we don't see them shift a ton, but maybe shift a little bit more away from Henry and they start passing a little more. So anyone investing in like a first-round pick in Henry, I think is going to be pretty damn disappointed.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't condone doing this in drafts, but when it comes to points, Lamar Jackson has to start coming off the board here at 21. I would never draft a quarterback this high, but yeah, like I feel that to the point, like he's gonna score a buttload of points, maybe not 457 again, but I am extremely confident that he's above 350.
Yeah, I agree. He was gonna be my guy too, and in fact, I'm gonna one up you, and I'll take Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
because I think those quarterbacks will be top notch. Like they're going to score points, especially with Kansas City returning Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Damian Williams. Maybe go add a Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Maybe go add a Jonathan Taylor. Maybe go add a J.K. Dobbins. Like that offense is just disgusting. We saw it last year. We saw it the year before. It's not going away.
I can't wrap I still have my mind wrapped around this is like fantasy in terms of like rankings almost. Cause I'm like, I would never take a quarterback that early, but we're talking about how they finished. But if we were talking about how they finished, they probably should have gone like third and fourth or second.
In relative,
yeah, but you know what we mean.
Yeah, I know.
It's the same as doing like the NFL top 100. Are we doing the best players, the best fantasy, like the best
or forever?
Yeah, because they do it like if they do it like the best player, you would pick like 20 quarterbacks before you even pick up second player, like another position.
Yeah.
So
it's the fun of the show.
It's all relevant.
It's all relevant, man. It's all happening.
I'll take Travis Kelce. He's
Mr.
Mr. Reliable. You never know what Tyreek Hill is going to do as far as health. You never. Obviously, they have. I don't know. They have a lot of people to throw to. The only person that consistently is dangerous is Kelce. So, give me Travis Kelce.
That's a great pick too. I think that's. I can't believe I hadn't even looked at tight end at that point. And I'm looking at wide receivers and running backs. You're staring myself blind. And I think I'm not as low as other people are on this guy. I think he's not gonna have the highs that he had before, but I think he's gonna be pretty darn good because Jameis Winston is blind. Tom Brady is pretty good. So I'm gonna have to go Mike Evans. I've always been a huge fan of Evans, and I think people are a little too down on him. I think he's going to do all right.
Yeah, I mean, we know Brady can still throw the football. Just because he's not throwing it like he did in 2009 doesn't mean that motherfucker can't put zip on it, can't throw the ball accurately. Like, he's still good. And he's going to be on an offense and with a coach who's going to let him air it out, which I think is one of the main reasons why he wanted to go there, is because he wants to show people that he can still throw that ball and he's not going to rely on Ronald Jones or whoever is even on that other team. Dare
Barber.
I think it's appropriate time to take him. I still have four. I think there's still 4 wide receivers I'd rather have, but it's close.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind putting Evans there because God knows what's going to happen. He could be absolutely great. He could be kind of a bust. We'll see. He's showing us year and year and year and year that he doesn't. It don't matter. He always comes out, balling. And that could be a great pick. I'm going to go with the best running back left on the board, Philadelphia's own Miles Sanders. He's great. He's going to be fine. PPR, yeah, definitely.
25th is Miles Sanders.
It's easy.
That's
Philadelphia's going to have the best offense in the NFC East. If they're healthy, they're going to be great. Miles Sanders is no longer battling with Joe Schmo Jordan fucking Howard, who's just a vulture for no reason.
Now he has Boston Scott, who will be doing the same thing.
But they are not the best offense in the NFC East.
The best running back on the board is still there, and that's Kenyan Drake.
Ooh.
By the way, he's not the best running back on the board. We're talking about how we finish in fantasy. I love what I saw down the stretch with what Arizona did. It is obviously a big question mark. If we knew they were going to do what they did at the last third with him, he'd obviously be much higher. that's the only thing holding him back. But they looked pretty. I liked what they were doing, implementing the running game. And this is actually one of the main things I don't like about taking Hopkins is because I think they may continue to do it with Drake. So they're high flying offense. They're going to run a lot of plays, and I like Drake. It's risky. It's really risky. I obviously would love to have gone DJ Moore, but especially with Bridgewater. But after they got Robbie Anderson, it's just a lot of mouths to feed there. I mean, that's a lot of mouths to feed. I know it hurts Samuel more than anything, but I don't know. And
bringing up DJ Moore, I'm doing a coin flip. I have 3 players that I'm picking between here, and DJ Moore is one of them. AJ Brown is another one. But this is going to be – y'all are not prepared. That's all I got to say. Y'all are not prepared for Le'Veon Bell.
Ooh, that's who I was thinking about.
Oh, because
I like this.
I think he's going to finish much higher than he did this year. It's still PPR. He finished 16th, and people are like, he's terrible now. He was still RB16. He's going to be better than that.
Freaking Luke Falk and who else at quarterback? I don't even know, but some bad quarterbacks.
He's definitely going to be better.
Put CeeDee Lamb in there. It'll be fun.
He had 3 touchdowns? 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns overall. That's going to be some touchdown regression. Give me Le'Veon Bell.
I like it. I like it a lot. Basically, for me right now, it's between Cooper. It's between Calvin Ridley. And that's about it. And of those two, I'd have to probably say Cooper's going to finish more points. I do like Calvin Ridley a few rounds later, but finishing total points, I mean, it's hard not to go with Amari Cooper. I mean, we saw what he can do. Gallup's there, a little bit more experienced. Zeke's there, and not going to be holding out and hanging out in Cabo for the entire offseason, which is going to make him better, make that offense better. I'm all on Cooper.
I'm the only one with a tight end screen, so I'm going to take George Kittle, who I think probably should have went a while ago. I have him and Kelsey kind of right back to back, so I'll finally take Kittle off the board as the only legitimate offensive weapon through the air in San Francisco.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. It's almost disrespectful how far we let him slide.
Yeah, it's unfortunately the guy throwing him the ball. Dings him a bit.
Yeah, it sure does. It's like
Jimmy G.
But then I really like DJ Moore, especially in PPR. So I'm gonna go him as the 30th, and then after that, let's go over the top 30 real quick. We got Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Elliott, Thomas, Cook, Kamara, Adams, Mixon, Golladay, Jacobs, Jones, Fournette, Hill, Godwin, Eckler, Julio, Nuke, Cooper Kupp, Chubb, Henry, Jackson, Mahomes, Kelsey, Evans, Sanders, Drake, Le'Veon Bell, Amari Cooper, George Kittle, and DJ Moore. I'm pretty satisfied with that top 30. I think it's pretty good top 30.
A couple of the snubs from the top 30: Keenan Allen, Cortland Sutton, Chris Carson, Adam Thielen, Allen Robinson, Tyler Lockett, DJ Shark, Carrion, Devin Singletary.
Are you about to name 30 snubs from the top 30?
No, this is not top 10. That's top 10.
I thought you said top 30.
Oh no, I just said top snubs, but I was just naming the top 10. It did start to ramble on, but I'm just saying those are some of the names for everyone who's listening, who understands, who didn't make it into the top 30 of our fantasy big board.
Were we only doing top 30? I thought we were doing top 100.
We're doing top 50 because we're not going to be able to make 100.
We can if we go super fast. I'm saying if we're doing top 30, there is one particular player that needs to be forced in, and his name is Devin Singletary.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Phillip Rivers.
Okay,
let's do 10.
With no Frank Gore, Devin Singletary is going to destroy if he can stay healthy.
I don't love him.
Why not? Hey, it's not a matter of loving it. The Bills are going to give him the ball tons of times, and they have no one else to give it to.
I think that's risky for them. They need to add someone else. They need to add someone else to make Singletary good at that point. It could be like an Austin Eckler thing. I said the same thing about Eckler last year without Gordon. I was like, he's not going to be able to handle it, and he ate up for sure. So, I mean, it definitely could be happening for Singletary. He just scares me, man. He scares me a little bit. I don't know.
Here's your thoughts on Singletary. Throw any other running back in the top 20, 30, top 30 running backs and put them in Buffalo by themselves, and I'm going to feel the same way. All the targets on a run-heavy team, yeah.
I'm just
anyway,
saying.
it's not my. Although it's not my team, it's not my turn. So
if we were going to force him in the top 30 as a running back, at least the last 3 running backs were Le'Veon Bell, Kenyan Drake, and Miles Sanders, and I would take all 3 of those over him. And I think all 3 of them will finish with more points than him. So
not
I mean,
Miles Sanders.
Top 30. I think he's good, but I think he's outside the top 30.
I would rather have Singletary than Bell and Sanders.
Ugh.
It's close. It's a matter of. I think if anything, I could see the Jets adding someone. I don't see the Bills adding anybody.
Here's my thought. If you weren't good enough to keep 34-year-old Frank Gore away from vulturing your touches,
he did it though. Remember when he was healthy? He it was a one-man show. He really was the bell cow there. He was.
What did Singletary do?
It was like 12 touches.
Yeah, he was good.
We would
right.
9 yards per carry.
He's good.
Yeah,
be on the lookout. I like Singletary. I mean, I think he's probably where he should be, right around the 30-ish.
Probably the second or third best running back still available right now.
I like him. Whose turn is it?
Yeah, who's up?
It's Nick.
Because you took DJ Moore? Okay. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of bullshit until I find a guy that I truly do like. And at this point in life, who I think is going to finish with the most points in the entire 2020 NFL season, throughout the whole season.
Not half of it.
It'll probably be Carrion Johnson. That's right. I said it. He's bouncing back. He's going to be healthy. He's a beast. Nah.
Hold on. I can't find Carrion Johnson. I have to go out of the top 75. Let me find him on my list.
Watch film on Carrion Johnson.
I literally do have him 62. I'm not even kidding.
I have him 31. So to each their own.
Hey, where did they say Odell Beckham was being traded to? What was that? It was a rumor. Was the Vikings?
Yeah, for a second and a fifth.
That'd be something.
Yeah.
Not enough for me to pick him here. I will take Devin Singletary. Shocker. There's actually 2 wide receivers that really, really, really need to be taken. But to stay on brand, I obviously had to put in Devin Singletary there.
And I'm going one of them, I think.
Yeah.
This is PPR. I forgot about him totally. I'm going Adam Thielen.
That's not one of the guys I was talking about.
That is not a guy I was thinking about.
Stephon Diggs gone.
Odell Beckham
Auto
Jr.
reception.
Odell, man, they're finalizing the trade right now for a second and a fifth.
Right now?
After Cleveland traded a first, a third, and like Jabril Peppers for him, basically. But let's keep it going. And I'll take the wide receiver that should have been picked, Mr. Allen Robinson, even with gross-ass Mitchell Trubisky or Nick Foles. Hopefully it's Nick Foles. It'll be Allen Robinson. The kid's a beast, dude.
Still not the wide receiver as I was thinking of. I have two that I like more than that. But the first one, I would go with the Mr. Forgotten, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh,
he
yeah.
will finally get his opportunity. We'll see if Big Ben can keep it together for a season. I think he can. I think at this point, if like he falls in fantasy drafts, he could definitely be a league winner. He's the same as the earlier with Hopkins. It's like, yeah, I can see the wheels falling off, but he literally has wide receiver 1 tools. He does. He has them.
Yeah, I like him a lot. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
It's just we haven't seen him by himself without Antonio Brown. Like last year, obviously was a watch year. Yeah, it's kind of risky, but I like him. I like that he's going to the 7th round right now. Hey, I'll take him.
Yeah, that's the insane part. That's the insane part.
Keep it that way.
And I'm gonna 36 overall. AJ Brown for me. What we saw at the end of it, second-year wide receiver, is always super nice.
You guys are disrespecting a wide receiver still. You're disrespecting him.
I'm going to keep disrespecting him by taking Calvin Ridley.
Okay, 37. Calvin Ridley.
I do like Calvin Ridley quite a bit, but not as much as I like Cortland Sutton.
Dude, he was my pick. You know that.
Well, I don't know that. You had an opportunity to take him for rounds and rounds, and I keep like I've been wanting to take. Hey, I've had Singletary, Juju, and Sutton as my top 3 for like the last over 9 picks now. So every time it cycles back to me, yeah, Sutton. Or it's probably a mistake to be this confident in Drew Lock. He looked good at the end, but he's obviously their wide receiver 1. They've been talking about maybe adding someone else in the draft. A lot of people have them maybe taking Ruggs, but until that happens, I love Sutton, assuming that he is the alpha dog there with no real competition.
Oh, he is. He is. I just forgot about him, honestly. I would have taken him over Thielen.
When you spit out Thielen and not Sutton, I was like,
yeah,
what?
no,
What?
I honestly, I thought I already took him. Because, I was even like thinking of him like 20 picks ago. I'm extremely high on him. That's my guy. That's my guy.
38th on the fantasy rabbit hole big board.
Oh yeah, and it's a disgrace that he's that far down. It's a disgrace, and I feel bad as a human being.
You're the only one to blame, Carl.
I know, because damn it.
It's all right. Who's third?
I'm gonna suspect that he has a decent, sneaky year in PPR and better than Odell Beckham. Because I think that Jarvis Landry just keeps getting receptions. Like, that's just what he does.
I'm going to the Vikings. It's happening, boys. I'm telling you. It's happening.
39, Jarvis Landry. I think he just keeps getting receptions. People just forget about him.
Is he not going to be maybe 100% to start the season? What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I didn't hear that.
He had surgery. He's not going to be ready. He's not going to be ready in training camp. He's going to be like right at the. I don't think he's going to get many games in at all. I can't recall. I'm too lazy to look up. Apparently, I'll look it up now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had surgery, and I know it's supposed to keep him out for most, if not all, training camp.
Or then Nick can make the 40th pick.
40th pick in the fantasy rabbit hole big board selection.
2020.
I don't know, man. Now we're getting down to like some splitting hairs basically at this point. And to be honest, for the splitting hairs, out of all the guys that remain in a PPR league, you got to go with Chris Carson. Going Chris Carson. I mean, he showed he's pretty damn good. I don't really
like that.
Hear Rashad Penny anymore. So
that's a good one. That's a good one. It's fun doing these because there's so many players that get forgotten.
I know. It's
funny. We're at the point where I'm not interested in any of these freaking running backs. They're all the same person to me at this point.
No, there's one. There's one
after Carson just went.
There's one more.
I know the guy you're talking about, and I don't necessarily agree. Because the two quarterbacks went earlier, I think way too much time has passed before I give a pick to my guy Deshaun Watson. Not that this order seems to be making a ton of sense, but I think Watson needs to be put up there, well above every other quarterback, especially with his new shiny toys.
New shiny toys. And what running back was I eyeing?
I assume it was Todd Gurley.
No.
Oh, I assume it was Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I had a crush on him since he went to the Baltimore Ravens. He has such good running patterns that matches with their style of running. Todd Gurley is after Mark Ingram for me.
Okay.
Even in PPR.
I had so many shares of Ingram last year. I just think with him getting banged up at the very end, there's someone who, again, I think they had a running back in the draft just because it's what they do. And I think it'll end up being maybe a little more spread out. That's the only thing worried. But I love him as a player. If he was the same guy he was last year, for sure, should have went a lot higher if that's the case.
I trust him to get a lot of goal line carries and get a lot of touchdowns and be pretty darn cheap still, because people are going to be like, "Oh, that was crazy year. That's not happening again."
He won me a lot of money last year.
Same here. And when we say money, we mean bacon. We only play for bacon.
There's players on the board that I feel bad are still there.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm taking one of those guys. Like, dude, the guy finished like top 7 wide receiver in PPR last year, and he's still on our board.
Keenan Allen.
Tyrod Taylor is the freaking quarterback. I assume it's going to be Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert will be way better than Tyrod Taylor, and will at least open things up. I'm not afraid of Mike Williams. Hunter Henry should have a pretty good year too. Probably, maybe finished with more fantasy PPR points than Keenan Allen, but I'm going to take Keenan Allen right now.
I refuse to take Odell Beckham Jr., and I just can't take Devontae Parker, even though I'd love to. But I'm going to take Robert Woods, who I already came out and said would be the wide receiver one of the Rams. Even if he's not, he's going to be right there. And with Cooks gone, they're still going to be throwing the ball a ton, especially with Gurley gone. They won't be able to run as much. I don't think it'll be as effective. So, yeah, Robert Woods, he seems like a sharp bet at this point.
Yeah, this far down the road too, like you can't really go wrong with him at this stage of the game. Somebody that I feel like we've a little bit disrespected too. Sure, he wasn't that incredibly high, but I still think he's going to be fantastic. It's Tyler Lockett. He won me a lot of money as well. I think he's a fantastic player.
On a 0 catch game in week 14 or whatever it was, like right in the last week, maybe it was week 13, catches 0 balls. He lost all respect for me right then.
Do you know how many fantasy analysts are telling me that they think that Metcalf is like the default wide receiver 1 there now? So many people believe that. I do not, but a lot of people do, like really, really do.
I do, and I'm taking DK Metcalf right now because that's what I'm going to be picking no matter what.
We realize Odell Beckham Jr. is on the board still, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of fun to leave him off the top 50.
And I'm going to leave him off the top 50 because I'm going to take AJ Green.
Wide receiver.
No. AJ Green.
I love AJ Green.
The Resurgence Tour. It's on its way. You got to take him sometime. And seriously, if you thought about it, if AJ Green's healthy, which is I know is a big if, let's just say like he was healthy last year. He just didn't come back. There was no reason for him to come back. Joe Burrow comes in. He's reasonably okay. They drafted an offensive lineman this year. They'll probably do it again. Or they did it last year. They'll probably do it again this year. I don't think that there's not a really that much keeping him from being a monster again. There's not. I mean, even Eifert's gone. So I think that a lot of people are overlooking him, and I think he'll end up being a steal in these drafts. I mean, he probably doesn't go ahead of Beckham, probably not even ahead of DJ Chark, but he should go ahead. And I think that AJ Green is a beast, and people forget.
And I know if we're doing top 50, I'm gonna end up with 1 pick less than y'all, and that's when I use the word y'all. I do that because then you definitely know who I'm picking, because y'all aren't gonna pick him, so he needs to be on this board. So Gurley has to be on the board. If we're doing AJ Green, we're doing Todd Gurley. Come on. Two more picks.
You don't have to. You want to
move that right along, since Todd Gurley definitely should probably not be in the top 50.
Oh, he's gonna catch a lot of balls.
We're gonna move in for the first 5 weeks, and then his knees are gonna give out on him. But what's gonna happen is DJ Chark, Gardner Minshew are going to connect multiple times. We saw DJ Chark blow up. That's why I took Fournette early. That's why I'm taking Chark this right now. I love Jacksonville. I love me some Gardner. Give me the mustache mania. Give me DJ Chark.
I knew you were going to pick Chark, so I felt secure in picking Gurley and still get Chark on the board.
What number is this?
49.
This is 50.
50. Oh, my choice at 50.
Marquez Scantling.
This is why I want to throw him up there.
Before you make the pick, you're going like, I am inevitable.
I'm going to force this guy on everybody.
Yeah.
He embarrassed himself to end the year. He did. But he's got a beautiful setup on a team that really leans on him. He has all the tools to be the number 1 at his position if he wanted to be. He has some shiny new tools to help him get there. Josh Allen, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, number 50.
Yeah,
Mr. Irrelevant.
I can't take it.
I don't know if whatever. I'm forcing him there for a reason, just because it's fun. But if people are just to bring up the point, people are so excited about Kyler Murray. There really isn't a big difference between the ceiling of Murray and Allen this year. If he's healthy and doing the things that Allen does, people think Murray's this big rushing machine. He's really not. Allen is. So with Diggs there, it's possible he's facing a pretty damn crappy division. I could see it. So would I don't know. Should it have been Josh Allen? Hey, probably not. But he's there.
Welcome to the fantasy.
Deal with it. Not Odell Beckham Jr., but Josh Allen.
Yeah,
it makes it funnier, really.
It's like if you've read the 101 NFL free agents on NFL.com, they had for like 6 years in a row, Mr. 101 was always Michael Vick. every year it was Michael Vick.
Hey, real quick before we end this, who's the one player we didn't put in the top 50 that you think will go back and look like the biggest assholes for leaving off because he ends up finishing at the we're top 20 and he ends up having this beast season?
Kyler Murray.
Potentially.
Ooh, there's two.
Yeah, I'm looking at running backs. Oh,
how about Michael Gallup when he ends up being the wide receiver 1 on Dallas?
Nah, that's not gonna happen.
He almost happened when he was on the field with Amari last year.
Kyler Murray probably should be in our top 50 because the kid could legitimately go and Lamar Jackson the shit out of everyone and just be the best of the best of the best with a better arm than Lamar Jackson. Easily.
Hold on, he's not even close to Lamar Jackson.
Could be easily.
He doesn't run like that. I don't think he goes over 600 yards in his entire career. In a year.
Oh, in running, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's not. I think that caps him.
All right, maybe. I don't know. I think more than that. I guess in my head, I was thinking he could easily hit 850 with 8 or 9 touchdowns. Easily.
I don't think that's why I think people assume that. I don't think that's his thing.
He could just break out like Lamar did and show us what's up. Anyways, and Mark Andrews probably should be on this board too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram could probably break the board too if he's healthy. You're nodding, but during his, I mean, he did when he first came into the league. I mean, he did some pretty crazy stuff.
But Eli Manning's not there. They have a fucking gunslinger now. Daniel Jones is not just going to sit there and check down left and right because his arm is 38 years old. He's going to throw the ball to Shepard. He's going to throw the ball to Slayton. It's Ingram's had his opportunity. He is not anyone you should ever spend more than a 9th or 10th round pick on at all.
Sterling Shepard just got a concussion because you mentioned his name.
Well,
Devontae
Parker maybe, and I don't even like.
Oh, we didn't have Parker. That was probably a mistake. I should probably take off Adams and put on Parker, take off Allen and put on Parker. That's what I should have done.
Parker can be 51.
Parker deserves it. Marvin Jones could be on there. He was freaking leading the league in touchdown receptions.
We should take Josh Allen off the list.
do you want me to take him off and put Devontae Parker there?
Next, that was the pick.
All right, it's the pick.
You can't take a pick back, but you know what you can.
You think the NCAA tournament looks at their 68 teams and then says, well, maybe we should just take this out. Josh Allen is elated. He's ecstatic that he just made the fantasy rabbit hole top 50.
Cinderella story.
You know, he's actually a player that's really far down. You mentioned him as Darius Slayton. Him cracking the top 50 wouldn't shock me just because Shepard and Ingram could totally get really badly injured.
The Jones and Slayton show. Yeah.
So, hey.
Yep. Watch Deontay Johnson do it. But you know what else is a Cinderella story? This freaking show. I had a blast. I hope everybody who joined us had a blast. Like I said before, please hit that like button, share on social media to help us get the word out there. Every little bit helps us get even more and better content for you, the viewer. If you want to catch us on demand, check us out at anchor.com/ The Fantasy Rabbit Hole. You can also check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many more places. For instance, cstfantasy.com, where you can read my latest floor and ceiling rankings for quarterbacks. But signing off for the Fantasy Rabbit Hole is Nick Faber, Matt Williams, and CST Fantasy. Till next time.
Peace.